Another day, another signing for the Worcester Railers ahead of the 2024-25 season. Next up, defenseman Griffin Luce comes to the Railers after having played most of last season with the Atlanta Gladiators under contract with the Milwaukee Admirals. Griffin, it's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to Worcester.
Appreciate it. Good to be here, and I'm looking forward to it. I know the area pretty well. I know it's a good team, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Talk about your familiarity with the area.
Well, I played in Springfield for 2 years, so I got to know just in and around the area. Down in Connecticut too, I've spent a bunch of time, and then I also went to prep school in Salisbury, up in like northwest Connecticut. So I know the area pretty well, and driving back and forth from Springfield to Boston and stuff. I've driven through Worcester and spent a little bit of time there myself. So it's a very nice area, and I always enjoy driving by the lake on the highway there. So I always know I'm in and around the Worcester area when I'm by those lakes.
Very nice. Otherwise, tell us a little bit about your summer so far. Right now, you're in Vegas, from what you've been telling me.
Yeah, I'm out in Vegas. My brother's getting married on Saturday, so it's just me and him and the family. So my family and I are really looking forward to that. But other than that, summer's been pretty good. I've been back home in Rochester, New York, and just doing training. Been on the ice in the gym, and then had a golf trip with my buddies that I do every summer. So it's been good to kind of relax and really just ramp it up and get ready for the season.
You've spent the majority of your career so far to this point playing on AHL deals. This will be your first full season ECHL contract coming in here with Worcester. Talk about what your conversation was like with general manager Nick Tuzzolino when it came time to want to play for Worcester.
It was great. I mean, Tuz and I kind of go way back. I know his family, my family have had connections throughout my grandfather and my dad and whatnot. And when Tuz was in Savannah, my dad was he works for Vegas. So they had a little bit of a connection there. And then actually, when I was in Rochester, me and Tuz did a lot of work together when he was doing like player development and a lot of skill work. So he would come to Rochester. We'd work together, and actually this summer too, him and I have been skating together a little bit and stuff. So it's been good. Him and I have a great relationship, and he was open and honest with me, and same with me. So I think we have a great relationship, and we really understand each other. And I was super excited to come because I know it's a place that we're gonna have a winning culture here. And for me, I know that Tuz is the kind of guy that he cares about his players. He can be hard on him when he needs to be, but he can also be your friend and be there for you when you need him to be as well. So I think that's really important to have in both the general manager and a coach. So I'm really looking forward to it, and Tuz has been great throughout this whole process.
Help our fans to get to know you a little bit better in regards to what you do on the ice. Could you describe your game a little bit for us?
For me, I'm a defense first mentality guy. I go out there, I shut down the first line. Really take pride in that role. I'll be a penalty kill guy. For me, I think that you can gain a lot of momentum in games by killing big lead or well timed penalties. And nothing really chews the crowd up like a good block shot. And that's something I really enjoy doing. I take pride in that. But at the same time, too, I can add secondary offense when needed. I think I'd like to grow that part of my game a little bit this year and contribute a little bit more offensively. And can't win games if you don't score goals, right? So it's like, for me, I know that my bread and butter is shutting down the other team's top guys and whatnot. But at the same time, looking to join the rush, get the get excited for the fans in that regard.
A little bit about your background here. Your father played in the ECHL and the AHL as a goalie. As you mentioned, he works for Vegas now. Your grandfather is in the Buffalo Sabres Hall of Fame, had an excellent career through the 70s, 80s. Just talk about, for yourself, you come from a big hockey family. How big of an impact has that had on you and your game?
I think it's been huge. A lot of people always ask, like, oh, you're born into a hockey family or whatever. But, for me, like, there's never been any pressure there. I've never felt like I've had to, live up to that name or whatever. I've been able to do my own thing and carve my own path. And I think that's been really great. But just being able to lean on my dad and my grandpa throughout my entire career, like in regards to advice and how to handle certain situations, how to be a pro, how to approach different times. And, I think for me, like at a young age, like I was able to be in NHL locker rooms and be around the guys who, I idolized at the time. So I think that was a really cool experience for me growing up and being able to really be in that atmosphere. You kind of get a really good understanding of, what it takes to be a pro, like how they go about their day every day. And, you still see that now. And like my grandpa tells me stories just about how times have changed in hockey. Like he tells me stories about, how guys were doing their training, like they didn't really do training back in the summer. Then like they were working a second job, right? And they were NHL players. So it's just like to be able to see like the growth of the game. Um, but also like they have so much knowledge for the game and just I've been really fortunate in being able to have those guys in my corner um, when I need them. And a lot of the times that they let me do my own thing, but at the same time I know that they're always there for me if I need any help or advice along the way.
For you, what would you say is maybe some of your best hockey memories are across all that time, spending time with them and in and around locker rooms and rinks?
I would say the biggest one would be actually last time I was in Las Vegas. It had been a lifetime goal and career goal for my dad and my grandfather to win the Stanley Cup. So last time I was out in Vegas, my brother who actually lives here as well, he works for the Las Vegas too. It was great. Me, him, my mom, and we just shared the experience. I mean, they won the Stanley Cup. We got to go on the ice. My dad's our last name's on the Stanley Cup, so I mean that was a really surreal experience. I don't think I'll really ever have an experience like that again in hockey. Um, but just that's definitely the pinnacle there. But there's countless number of memories. First for me, I think playing in the Frozen Four at Michigan my sophomore year in 2018. We lost with 4 seconds left in the semifinals, which stung a little bit, but that was a really cool experience. And then being able to represent my country too, playing at the NTDP for 2 years there, that was really cool. Under 18s were in Grand Forks, so we had a, I guess, home ice advantage essentially, and that was really cool. But I mean, I've been afforded the opportunity to have a lot of really cool experiences in hockey. But I would say that the Stanley Cup definitely is the one that sticks out the most to me.
Did you guys end up getting a day with the cup? Did you end up doing anything with it?
Yeah, we did. So I grew up in St. Thomas, Ontario, just a small town outside of London. And we didn't do anything crazy. My dad had the cup for the day. I actually was in training camp in Milwaukee, and I flew, or sorry, no, I was in training camp in Nashville. So between going to Nashville and Milwaukee, I stopped there, and my dad had the day with the cup, and we just had a big like family gathering, family and friends. That I think the big thing for us was it took so many people, with our family growing up because my dad's traveling and whatnot. There were so many people around us throughout the community that really impacted us in their own ways. So to be able to share that experience with them was really cool.
Uh, for you, you've played a decent amount at the AHL level and ECHL level each. Talk about differences you've seen between the two levels of the sport.
I mean, you see it. It's way more structured, I would say, even in the NHL and AHL. It's really tough. Like you see the jump a lot when it comes to like breakouts, and it's a little bit more clean of a game. But like at the same time, everyone's working hard, everyone's trying their best out there, and things happen a lot quicker at the higher level. But I think that for me, it's just like going into those games, you know how you can process things, and you just have to process them a little bit quicker. And you're able to slow the game down in a sense that it's like it's bizarre actually because the game still comes very fast to you, but you can slow it down knowing that you have a little bit more time to execute the plays and make the plays that you're seeing. But there's really not that big of a difference. Like there's not that huge of a jump in regards to like the style of play. Like everyone plays a pretty similar style now. I would just say it it would be just your decision making and having to make plays a little bit quicker.
Griffin, a final message for Railers fans here who are hearing this conversation and are excited to see you and the team play down at the DCU Center come October 19th.
I'm just really excited, honestly. It's going to be a great season. I know a few guys on the team, and I know that we have one goal in mind this year, and that's to win the championship. And we're going to show ready to go right from the get go and have a very successful year. And I'm really looking forward to playing in front of fans there and getting to know the area a little bit better. And yeah, have a great year.
Griffin, Luce is your next signing for your Worcester Railers ahead of the 2024-25 season. Griffin, thanks for taking the time today.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.